Hello and welcome to the X80. Now the X80 is our brand new X Class. It's an evolution of what we created with the X95, which is actually just next to us here. Now it's slightly different. So the X95 had the full beam on-deck master. And why you can have an on-deck cabin on the X80, it's not full beam. We have retained the full walk-around side decks and we don't have that full beam forward flybridge area. So it's got a very different look, but I think it's very successful in terms of how they've styled it and kept it really quite contemporary. Now, the back end is a particular point I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of styling going on here because this is what is many people's first impression of a boat. So you can see we've got nice, large stainless steel rails coming down either side, plenty of scalloped areas out to give that styling, and that beautiful long strip of teak running all the way along the bottom. There's also a degree of styling gone into this back end just to give it a bit more interest, and obviously those painted surfaces and that full see-through rear seating instead of a large piece of fiberglass. Good storage area here, so that lifts up. You can put fenders, wash down kit, that type of stuff in that locker, and then you have access to the crew through that door there. That also gives you access into your main engine room access as well, and then that nice seating area there to enjoy what people are doing on the bathing platform. I'm standing on the bathing platform, which of course is a hydraulic system that lowers down. Nice wide side decks that lead up into the aft deck. And as you look up, you can actually see that's got a beautiful overhang, which gives plenty of protection and also nicely sculpted and gives a bit of more styling. Let's take a step up, and you'll notice as we go up, you're not climbing a staircase, you're actually going up a nice shallow steps. Either side of me here, we have access to the shore power storage, and on your side, you've actually got the shower unit in there, and you can also have an additional range 1 shower on the bathing platform should you want to. So stepping up into the aft deck, the immediate thing you notice is how deep it is. So from that slide-in patio door into the saloon, all the way back to the supports here in the rear of the seats, it's a vast space. Both in beam, you've got that 18.5-foot beam, as well as depth of the cockpit itself. Nice stylings, and that is reflected in what we've done in the deck head. So we've got multiple layers of fabric here, different tones, and obviously those interesting lights, how they're recessed into it, and then you've got the strip lighting as well. Table, so you've got a big fold-out table here. You can be used as your main dining area, or indeed it can be folded as it is now, and then you've got your integrated cup holders in it as well. Staircase up to the flybridge, which we'll come to later, and then on your side there we have the servery unit, the pull-out refrigeration, and also the sink. So this is a shoe storage unit. They incorporated, they wanted a bit more storage room. I'm currently still on top of the emergency access to the engine room. So this is, in an emergency or occasional, or if you are in rough weather and you need to make access while under passage to the engine room, you've got a second option just there. Stepping into the saloon, we come past these triple stainless steel sliding doors, and we come into what is a very welcoming space. Large curved seating area over there on the port side, and it really is a big space. Plenty of storage underneath those. Opposite that is more than a two-seater. That's a 3-4 person settee, and behind that again is your up-down TV, and then you've got those big windows either side, letting in plenty of light. Storage under there for your knives and forks, and on this side we have the integrated bar, so that's got a fridge and all your glasses in it. Where you are now is the option of having a slide-in dining room table. That is on a hydraulic ram that moves out and also extends out. Great option if you do go for the 5th cabin. It gives you somewhere else to eat with 10 guests on board. Integrated staircase that leads up to the Sky Lounge. Lovely feature, plenty of design in there. These are actually big steel steps, and then they're covered in what you can see is this lovely leather and walnut finish. In front of that, we have the day head, which has that big window, lets plenty of light into it, everything you need in there from a day head. And then opposite, we've got the, well, it's a bar unit, really. The X80 has, similar to the Y85, this galley area with the up-down partition. So you can either close it off completely, or as you can see now, open it up, and it becomes a bit of the heart of the boat with especially those 2 stools there. As with all Princesses, we have a full usable kitchen galley. This boat has this rather nice granite marble top. I think it's granite. Underneath this is your ice maker. You've got plenty of drawer spaces here, a big bin, dishwasher, under sink storage, your cooktop with an extractor fan above that, concealed lockers there, oven, and then on my side we have, if you wanted to, a microwave. Good unit under here, which is a great place for coffee machines like this. This one also has a pull-out sub-zero drawers. If you don't want those, you can actually go for a wine cooler, and then we have the standard sub-zero fridge and freezers underneath that. And then of course we have an extra door there. So when this area is completely concealed off, crew can come and go without disturbing the guests. So leaving the galley, we step out. We've got the staircase down to the guest accommodation. Now it is a really well lit staircase, that one, because you've got the big window in the whole side, as well as the window beneath it, with 2 integrated lockers there for bags, that type of thing. Taking 2 steps up, we're going to have a look at what can be the dining room, or indeed can, in this boat, be the 5th cabin. Now, I think this is a real triumph for design, what the designers have come up with. It is a choice whether it's the master cabin or it is a 5th guest cabin. It is smaller than downstairs, but it has the benefit of these amazing windows. And we're looking forward, it's quite unique to have that beautiful view out over the bow. This boat's fitted with a jacuzzi, or you can have that U-shaped seating up there should you want to. There's a blind that closes that off, so to give you some privacy. You have this full, almost floor-to-ceiling window behind me, which you have the option, as fitted on here, for a pop-out door, so that will open up to allow in the morning to go out and enjoy a cup of tea or coffee or a drink in the evenings. Maximise the size of the TV we can get on that bulkhead, underneath which we have the vanity unit, and then there's a wardrobe behind that, and then a second wardrobe over on your side, the other side of the door. And then really a beautiful ensuite. It runs fore and aft, and everything you need there. He's got these clever sliding doors to conceal it away. And hope you'd be able to see, but I think it's a really beautiful area and a worthy option over the dinette, which we'll look at another time. So here you find us on the lower accommodation and in the master stateroom. Now, as on all of our boats, we have got the full width master. So big brother windows, letting that natural light and obviously the view out. Both obviously have opening portholes behind me. The dominant feature in the master cabin is, of course, this full-size king-size bed. Plenty of space. Underneath there is, as always, the drawer storage. Nice new design language here. The headboard slightly scalloped out, and then we've got these nice vertical slats here which reflect the light really well. Entrance to the ensuite is behind me here. We've got a nice floating style sink unit, so his and her sinks or joint sinks. WCs are outboard with a nice big window to let in plenty of light, and then inboard the other side is a lovely walk-in shower. Now, that shower has that new style teak effect flooring and walls, but of course you can have, like on this boat here, the natural stone. On my opposite side, you've got, new to us, because that was historically where the walk-in with the ensuite would be, you've got a separate dressing room. And it's beautifully appointed. You've got plenty of drawers, full height hanging, as well as trays for all those knickknacks. Coming out of there, underneath that big window, you have the vanity unit. So integrated fold-up mirror, plenty of drawer storage, as well as those cupboards either side of it. Coming around the corner, past the entrance, you have decent sized TV. You can scale up or down depending on how much you want to utilise that. A neat feature new to the X80 is these really rather large pull-out drawers. Now they're going underneath the forward queen bed in the queen cabin. And then this nice scallop-shaped seating arrangement here, which is a really good size actually. Now if you would rather have storage, we can work on a storage solution there should you need it. Leaving the master cabin, we step into the foyer. Now this is at the bottom of the staircase down from that the main deck, and we have a washer dryer and then a storage unit above that, so making the most of that area. And then the opposite side, we have a really beautiful feature here, which is a big round mirror. You've got those vertical flutes again, which reflect the light lovely, and a bit more storage underneath there. Should you want separates, which for some markets is very important, we can actually put a separate unit here, so this would all raise up a little bit. So moving forward, we're going to go into the guest accommodation corridor. We've worked quite hard to make this a real nice, light, airy space. Sometimes it can be quite dark down here in the bottom of the boat. We've got extra long lighting strip here, really nice, light, clear panels to make it quite a nice area to be. Moving to the starboard cabin, you can see we've got a nice double bed in here. Slightly smaller than the master, but very adequate. Carry on the design features, so you've got those flutes on the wall there, which reflect the light really rather well. And as with all Princesses, practicality is at our core, so plenty of storage. Big locker here, overhead lockers behind me, above this window, which is a really nice feature, nice and long, as well as these are all what we'd normally have above the windows, but actually put them below, so plenty of storage. And then the full height hanging wardrobe there. Behind the door is the vanity unit with a TV, which is hidden behind the mirror, so utilising the space twice there. And of course, forward of that, we have the ensuite, which again follows that same style. The teak flooring, teak walls, and of course you can have the natural stone floor. So moving back and moving up forward in the boat, we have the twin cabin. So the twin cabin can also be comprised of a Pullman bunk, so you can have 3 berths in there. And obviously you've got the sliding berths that come together to make it into a 4th or even a 5th double cabin for this boat. Nicely appointed, of course it's got the ensuite as all the cabins on this boat do, and a really nice extra cabin should you need it. So coming out and moving forward, we have 2 steps up into the forward VIP. And it's got obviously a separate door to close you off from the rest of the boat. First thing we have is the ensuite. So really good deep ensuite there with plenty of storage, big window to let that light in, walk-in full rain shower, and a real nice place for your guests to be. Behind me here is the vanity unit. Good sized mirror behind it, not only to utilise the vanity, but also to throw that light back into this cabin and make it feel as big as possible. Which with this decor, I think with a mix of light and that gloss wood really works well. 2 big hanging wardrobes either side, under bed storage, lots of storage again underneath the windows. They're actually below the windows instead of above them as is typical, but is what we do on the X boats. And of course that full size, what looks like a king bed in here. TV on this bulkhead should you want it. I think you agree this cabin, as well as the rest of the lower accommodation on this boat, really is a nice place to spend some time away.
So here we are down in Plymouth today on the X80, and I join you from the engine room. New engine room layout for Princess on the X80 and plenty new things to get acquainted with. Traditional in that we've got the central walkway between the 2 big V12 1900 engines here, 1 on each side, and they're delivering a fantastic performance on this boat, in excess of 30 knots top speed, which for a boat between 70 and 75 tons displacement is actually really impressive. So outboard of the engines, we've got the saddle fuel tanks as standard with this boat, which give you a just over 7,000 litre fuel capacity. You can actually extend the range of this boat if you wish to. If you spend more time at sea than you do in port, there is plenty of room in the forward bilges for even more fuel capacity should you wish to use that space to accommodate more fuel. You can also use that space for a larger grey water tank should you spend more time in port and need the extra capacity for your waste system instead. On the forward bulkhead, as you've seen on many of our models before, we've got AC panel on the left and DC panel on the right, all in nice, clean, tidy enclosures, with all your DC charging systems over on the starboard side as well, mounted on the side of the fuel tank. This boat comes with the new and improved name audio inverter system as well, as you've seen on the Y72, Y85 and the X95. As we move aft, there's a nice big lobby space here between the 2 engines. You've got your fuel filtration units, quite easy to hand mounted outboard of both of the engines. You've got duplex filters which make servicing when the boat is in service quite easy. The generators are very neatly installed in the aft corners on both sides. You've got 27 kilowatt generators on this boat, 1 on one side as standard and then a second as an option should you wish to have more power capacity. Nice to have them at the aft end of the engine room, keep that noise as far away from the guest accommodation as possible, which sits forward of the engine room on this boat. And then on the aft bulkhead, 3 compressor units as standard, which is more than capable of delivering cooling up to 40-degree ambient temperatures all across the globe. On the aft bulkhead, we've got a hydraulic pack, so that's running your things like your bow thruster, your stabilizer system, your windlass controls up on the bow, and this boat can actually have a Seakeeper gyroscopic stabilizer if you wish, or it can actually have the fin stabilizers outboard underneath each of the fuel tanks. We've got a really substantial ladder nicely raked up to an escape hatch here in the deck. Moving aft from the engine room, we're through this substantial watertight door, and we've included, as per usual, the visual port in the door there so that you can check the engine room without actually having to enter the space. Behind me on the starboard side, we've got a washer dryer stack, so you've got a really good laundry facilities down here and a separate crew area from the guest accommodation. Over to the port side, we're off the centre line slightly where I'm stood, but this is a really well-proportioned crew bathroom for the size of boat. Separate shower stall, so no wet head, and really good sized vanity sink and mirror in the bathroom there. Again, over to starboard, over the threshold here, and I'm into one of the crew cabins. So this area can be configured slightly differently depending on your power requirements, but this particular client's gone for 2 cabins for 2 crew members. So really decent sized cabin for 1 crew member here. You've got natural ventilation through the windows with an opening port light, and as you can probably tell from the push catches you can see, we've got storage in every possible nook and cranny down here in the crew area. As I move over to the port side, I've got a really nice, great sized galley lounge space for the crew. Again, with ample storage above and below, got a microwave oven here, a double hob. Again, another window in the transom there to flood this space with a bit more natural light and provide some ventilation with the opening port lights. And a couple of swing out bar stools here, so crew of an evening can comfortably lounge down here without getting in the way of any guests that might be using the rest of the boat. And then, last but not least, over here on the port side, we have another crew cabin. So you can have bunks in this cabin for 2 crew, but it makes a really great sized cabin for 1 crew. You've got a wardrobe aft and a wardrobe forward, and both the cabins on both sides of this crew area come with full height mirrors for getting yourself ready in the mornings and the evenings. As I move over to the transom door, as you can see, there's plenty of space. It's all very well proportioned down here, and 4 very substantial steps to get up to the transom door out onto that high-low bathing platform. Plenty of width, and it's all very comfortable. This whole space down here is also air conditioned, just as you'd expect from the guest accommodation, so very comfortable area for the crew to be living in for those long extended journeys on board. So in summary, the X80, a very innovative model for Princess. She's been very successful thus far prior to the launch, and we're really looking forward to getting some customers on board. She's very well proportioned, lots of exterior and interior spaces to enjoy, so practical for big family trips, or if you want to get away from the crowd, she's very well set up for that as well.
Okay, welcome to the Flybridge of the X80, and here you find us on the aft section of the Flybridge. We've got these beautiful seating areas, so a large seating area on the starboard side, and this slightly smaller one on the port. And they have this amazing view looking aft, straight through that glass balustrade, back at either the wake or the kids playing in the water, or friends and family. 2 nice occasional tables down here can be removed if you don't want them, but are in place, and I think make a really nice feature. This seating area here actually can pivot round and face forward, so it incorporates and runs into the seating area around the main dining room table, which is a rather nice idea. And then we move forward. So on the starboard side again, we have the wet bar. So that incorporates your barbecue grill, and then a decent sized pull-out refrigeration and 2 cupboard storage areas as well. And then opposite that, we have this dining room table. Really good size. You can sit the full complement of 10 people around here if you go for that 5th on-deck master, completely under the shelter of this hardtop. So the whole roof comes back aft, and that also houses the extendable sunshade. So that sunshade will go out and cover the whole of the seating areas. At the end of this seating, we have the option of having a cool box in there. So this cool box is great for snacks or for extra drinks, as well as obviously having the fridge over there. Coming around, staircase obviously up from the aft deck, and then on the starboard side again, you have the option of a pop-up TV, so you can enjoy the game or watching a movie at night. And then we come into the Sky Lounge. Okay, walking through the triple sliding stainless steel doors, we come into the Sky Lounge. As you pass through, you'll notice you've got the air conditioning controls, obviously lighting, as well as the electric blinds for both windows and the electric blind for the glass roof. So nice bit of extra light comes through there. It's tinted, but it also has the blinds if you want to block out more sunlight and for night for. Seating on this side, which has it's finished in leather on this particular boat, but you can choose what you like, and then you've got slide out drawers underneath there. This boat has got the infilled or the inlaid carpet, and again you can have that all wood if you want to, or the whole area carpet as well. Over on this side at the top of the stairs, now those stairs come up from the saloon and the galley area, and outboard of that we have the integrated ice maker, and storage or an AV unit. They go right out underneath the, not really a side deck, but the side areas of the boat. The pop-up TV is fitted in this unit here, and then you also have storage in these 3 cupboards and more AV forward of that. Stepping up forward, we go into the bridge. Now this bridge area is closed off by double sliding doors on each side. So the crew can carry on with their job if we're having a party up here and not affect the night vision and extra noise. Or you can have it fully open as we are now and really benefit from that space. We have 4 screens. So to the screens are the Bonin ship's controls, and that controls everything from the air conditioning to the lights. You've got AV DC power controls up here, as well as all the ship's control units for the engines. The helm seat is fully adjustable, so that's up electrically up and down, as well as forward and back. And you have access to the wheel, the throttles, as well as having a great visibility out of the big bridge windows, which is that big solid single piece of glass. Up forward you have, which is quite unique on this boat, that amazing forward flybridge. Now, forward decks are normally up in the bow. Obviously this is a deck up. We've got twin sun pads either side. They can actually fold up, so you can have the option of those turn into fold up with backrests, so you've got seats facing each other, or as on this boat, big sun pads. There's a large lock on the port side, so down the step there on the side, which is great for extra storage. And then obviously we've got the door out on the starboard side, and then there's their third station control. So you can helm from up here and moor the boat should you want to, but you also have the option of mooring from that station, and of course on the one back on the aft deck. So that's a review of our X80, and I think you agree that the designers, both interior and exterior, have done an amazing job of creating a lot of space, but with a lot of style. The boat is exceptionally tall, but they've created what appears from the outside to be a very well proportioned boat. It cruises well, it runs beautifully, and I thoroughly recommend contacting your local dealer to find out when you can get on board one and have a look for yourselves.